Fine, okay, then North London is red, 100%. Press the button.
It's a crucial North London derby victory for Arsenal.
A big game for us, big game for our fans, and we unfortunately gave ourselves a mountain to climb in that first period of the game, and disappointing outcome.
Come here is an unbelievable stadium, great atmosphere, a great team. You're going to suffer, you want to win here, be ready to suffer. At the end, the team find a way to win it and showed a lot of courage, especially the players that were involved in certain mistakes to do what they did.
Oh, go on the boys.
He's just Spurs and Arsenal managers Ange Postecoglou and Mikel Arteta following the Gunners 3-2 win in North London yesterday. If you want to have your say on that, you can. 03717223344. Let's talk about it. Firstly, well done.
Where are you going to start?
Well, we'll start at the beginning.
First half, bosh! Come on the trot fast.
You at the end, you must have been a little bit. No, you must have been a little bit squeaky bum time at 3-2 with 10 minutes to go.
It weren't 10 minutes ago, but listen, because I think they scored the second 85th.
Okay.
Right.
And how much injury time do you have? 6 minutes or 11 minutes?
Yeah, 11 minutes, you're right. Do you know what? I wasn't. And do you know why I wasn't? Because they'd created a couple of chances, yet Romero hit the post with a header. But the 2 goals that they got were from, obviously, David Raya trying to be too clever.
Yeah.
And a penalty, which Declan Rice, who never really does that, just kind of lost his bearings. Timing, didn't see him coming. But in general play, the way Arsenal defended their box in their numbers, I felt quite comfortable because Spurs were throwing the ball in the box and Arsenal just heading it away. Defensively, Arsenal to me looked comfortable. So that's why the last 10 minutes where it could have been last season, I'd have been watching it from under the pillow or something. Guys would be like, what's going to happen here? But this season, defensively, they've been so solid that I was just like, do you know what? I wasn't really that worried.
Let's talk about David Raya for a moment. There's lots to talk about from the game. Let's talk about that. Why does he do that?
Do you know what? It's one of those things where you're 3-0 up, right? I know that the manager wants you to play a certain way. But even when you look at it from behind David Raya, if he gets the ball to Partey, which is where I think he's trying to dink it into, I don't know what Partey's supposed to do with it. He's either going to have to chest it and just clear it, or he loses it and they're on and go anyway. But in that moment, you can quite clearly see, you see Romero kind of spook him a little bit by going that way. It almost convulses all on him. In that moment, you're 3-0 up. Just get out of your feet and just go crash up the pitch.
Why is he doing that? Is it a lack of concentration?
No, it's not a lack. It's just trying to be too clever.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to draw the press. So Arsenal play through the press and they're out. But I think you're 3-0 up in a game like that. Just Arteta's not going to hammer him for getting the ball out his feet and just go and smash up the pitch. And then you go from there. But listen, you can't kill him for that. It was a bad mistake. You can't hide the fact. But listen, they got the 3 points and then the penalty as well.
What did you make of Ben White trying to take Vicario's gloves off?
I love it.
I thought that was brilliant.
I love it. Do you know what I love about it, right?
Go on.
I love it because he's quite cheeky and that's him.
Yeah.
But if you're a Spurs player or the manager, right, and I was at West Ham versus Tottenham a few weeks back doing the co-coms. West Ham scored from a corner. The Zuma come in, bang. Antonio was on the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is so soft when it comes to corners and set plays. Why? And you look at the goals that Arsenal scored. Why are Spurs not getting somebody trying in between the goalkeeper and Ben White? So you call, I don't know, Ben Davis. Ben, come here. Do me a favour. Just stand on Ben White. Don't let him get anywhere near me. I'll try and come through the cross. 2 times the ball goes in the box. And Vicario, by the time the ball hits the net, he's on his back.
Okay,
in the goal.
So you've got a very successful set-piece coach.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
Set-piece, is that right? Set-piece coach. Ange Postecoglou, after the game, when he was questioned as to whether or not Spurs should have one, said no, categorically. Right? Mm-hmm. How important do you think it is that Arsenal have got one? Because they're scoring from set pieces.
Well, it's massive.
And Spurs are conceding from set pieces.
Well, Arsenal score more goals from set plays, corners than anyone.
But is that down to having a coach that just deals with that? It must be, right?
Well, of course, because Arsenal didn't have one before and they weren't. So the facts are there, do you know what I mean? So from Spurs, listen, and he's probably annoyed that his team's got beat. But that's an area you've got to look at because other teams will pick up on that and go, hold on, the goalkeeper's a bit weak and Spurs don't give him any protection. Like if a goalkeeper's weak for crosses, you've got to do everything you can to stop anyone getting in his area. Especially if your goalkeeper's not the most vocal, the most, what's the word, where they're quite
animated,
intimidating, right?
Okay.
Every single time Ben White's on his own with the goalkeeper, he backs in and the goalkeeper just flaps at it, people score.
I want to talk to you about Saka's goal. There's a couple of things I want to ask you about that.
Finish.
Firstly, was it a foul in the build-up to it?
Nope.
Okay. What was it in the build-up to it?
It was almost like a little bit of a tangle of legs and he went down in installments. I didn't think it was a foul personally.
Okay.
But I can understand why
I didn't.
Spurs fans
I agree with you.
would think it was a foul.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the defender from Ben Davis.
Well, see, this is what I was going to say to you, right? Spurs play one way, we know that, right? They're so high. That goal was almost easy. It was almost like a PlayStation goal, wasn't it? You go down the right, you cut in, bend it, right? and Spurs keep conceding goals. They conceded, was it 4 against Newcastle? I know Isak's got a lot of pace, but Van der Ven's not slow.
Yeah.
But
how quick was he a couple of times
very
yesterday?
quick. He got out of trouble. But Spurs play with such a high line that as soon as that ball is put into either wing and Martinelli the other side or Saka, you sort of feel Arsenal have got more than a 50-50 chance of scoring a goal.
Do you know what they do? But for that one there, if Ben Davies just puts the brakes on right and goes, I don't care what happens, even if you go down the outside and score with your right foot, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, but don't let him come in.
But he almost goes past Saka and goes, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
He just nips inside and goes...
Okay, let me ask you this, because we've got so many questions to take on it. Do you think people are being a little bit harsh on Spurs? And the reason I ask that is because you're top, right? And your squad's virtually done. You might win the Premier League, you might not, but either way, it's going to be close.
Yeah.
Spurs shouldn't be and haven't been that close. So why are people being a little bit too hard on Spurs?
I don't know if they've been hard on Spurs, but I think a lot of people are now starting to look at... Big Ange has been brilliant, hasn't he? But when you look at the amount of goals that they do concede, and yes, they've been great to watch, entertaining to watch, but the goals that they concede, like 4 to Newcastle, 3 to Arsenal, I know the 10 men, 4 to Chelsea, but it's one of those where at some point you have to go, do you know what? I know we want to play this way, but just adapt. Like the best managers in the world can adapt to whoever they're playing against. You can't go full throttle in every single game because people work you out. The Premier League's the best league in the world. Other coaches will look at Spurs and go, well, look how wide open they are. Like Romero at some stages was centre forward.
Yeah, I know.
What's going on with that?
I thought that.
Even when he scored the goal,
I know.
I looked at the replay and went, where's he come from?
We were putting this on the WhatsApp, weren't we? Yesterday?
Where's he come from?
I know. Spurs finished 5th. Good season?
Yeah, still say a good season.
Good season. Okay. Just quickly, you're top by a point, but Man City have got a game in hand. If you could swap places so you could be second, but you'd have the game in hand, would you do it?
No.
You wouldn't?
No.
Wouldn't you?
Nah. I'd rather have the points on the ball.
Game in hand, would you?
No. Whether it's 1 point or not, I'd rather just...
I'd rather be in City's position.
Would you?
It's in you want it in your hands. It's not in your hands.
Nah, I'd rather... Nah, give me the 1 point.
Okay. Let's go to the phone lines. We're talking about Spurs and Arsenal. 03717223334. John is first up. Hello, John.
Hi, chaps. Okay.
We're great. How are you?
I'm all right.
What would you like to say, John?
Just wanted to discuss Big Ange.
Okay.
When he first come to the club, I was a bit unsure. I just think his arrogance, like the way he wants to play, is affecting us. Going back to him saying about set pieces, I think 75% of our goals this year we've conceded have been from set pieces.
Hold on, John. That's a big. Hold on, John. John, where did you get that 75% from?
I'm just going by from the games that I've watched.
All right,
Most of the goals that we concede come from either a corner or a free kick. It doesn't take a mastermind, though, to work out what the issue is. And he doesn't seem to be seeing what the issue is. Like, I'm not being funny. We're playing Arsenal, one of the best teams probably in Europe at the moment, with Saka, who's probably one of the best wingers in Europe at the minute, and you put him with Ben Davies, who my grandma with a Zimmer frame can run quicker than him. You'd stick Emerson Royale or Dragusin up against him all day of the week. His team selections are just bonkers.
Who would you have played at left back instead of Ben Davies?
I would have put Dragusin there or Emerson Royale.
Okay, yeah.
But Emerson Royale's had his critics, hasn't he?
I put him there solely for the pace. Ben Davies is a good defender. Pace-wise, it showed it on Saka's goal.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.